Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Laws of 1975. Adequate notice of this meeting was originally provided through the annual public notice on January 6, 2026, by emailing to newspapers designated by the board, the local source in the Star Ledger, by posting on the district website, the main bulletin board in the administration office, and in each Roselle Borough school, and by emailing to the clerk of the Roselle Borough and posted on the Borough of Roselle website. Please rise with me to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Dr. Simmons, please provide a roll call.
Dr. Atkins? Here. Ms. Bond? Ms. Chavez?
Here.
Mrs. Cortez? Ms. Santos?
Present.
Ms. Tunnage? Dr. Washington?
Present.
Ms. Washington? Mrs. Washington?
Here.
Ms. Woody? Present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Prior to asking for the motion to go into the executive session, Dr. Simmons, I noticed that our meetings are not on the Roselle Borough website. Can you please resend our meetings to the clerk of the Roselle Borough and ask them to ensure that they publish our meetings on their calendar? Thank you. Now I'm going to ask for a motion to enter into executive session to discuss issues that warrant confidentiality as consistent with NJSA 10:4-12 for matters of attorney-client privilege, contracts, legal, litigation, negotiations, personnel, and student matters. The minutes will be made available to the public upon request when the confidentiality of the subject is no longer warranted. May I have a motion and a second?
I make a motion that we move to our executive meeting.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We will begin, we will return from executive session at approximately 1 hour, 7 p.m. Thank you. I checked literally at 4 o'clock today because someone asked me if our meetings are posted. What's supposed to be up there? They're not up there. They're not there at all. I checked. And I did a thing where I said it was supposed to be like recreation. So it wasn't happening. My son was too. She was on the PTA. PTA, yeah. And she's a teacher at school center. Yeah, and then I remember her when I saw her again with you when we signed. Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, shoot. Put an HDMI port. And so, where is it coming from? It's one of those. In here. Device supplies not turn on. Or press select the device. Obviously. Thank you. Why, thank you. Oh, that's gonna be that. Charge your phone. That's what you need to do. need that.
You with the iPad?
That hasn't been. I've been trying to like send myself pictures and they were not well.
Let's get that reception.
The reception here is terrible.
Well,
I don't know where I'm gonna go with it.
I just put this in front.
Okay. Jessica's coming too, right?
Yeah, let me text her.
Okay. I know she's upstairs.
Are you going upstairs? she didn't do that.
I guess I would have found out once I was up there. That's when I would have found out. So,
Didn't she? Ah, she went to LV.
I should have one in my bag, but I don't have it long enough, because I didn't think, because I haven't been here with these, with this board before. So I just assumed you do. That's, okay, well, thank you.
Just in case, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you so much.
I need to buy these things. I'm already a MacBook. And MacBook's all 5C.
Yeah. I have a couple of adapters.
This is 41.
Well, okay. I have one, but it's get connected to the side. Got multiple personalities. That's good. No. Maybe we should buy some for all the administrators so that they can.
Well, I mean, what if I HDMI?
It's on the movie.
Yeah, in one of these classes, like, people tell people to go to the whole view, that's what I believe. That's why. It's
Did you
right
know?
in HDMI.
We used to buy them the ones that's like white feet, black knuckle. So somebody takes it like, hey, we want that. You know, I'm getting you the right way.
I know, like, this, I just want each class has like this.
Well, these are like one pink, one blue, you know, and yellow orange. Like, we see you. Come on and connect this, please. Like, we see you. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do this little exercise. And if I don't, that's okay. Because, you know.
Oh, this is a different.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you like a
Oh, she got it.
in the back. Yeah, but it doesn't reach all the way, you understand, it's not long enough. There's one here, but I don't know if it's connected to this. What it looks like it is. Well, thank God, Arthur. How are you, sir? You're not speaking to me?
How are you?
You are speaking to me?
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
So here.
I'm just trying to connect to this board with my laptop. And I don't want
You
to.
don't want this?
Yes, I would love that instead.
Yes, I have cable here.
Show me. Oh, okay. Then let's do that. I wasn't sure what this was for, that's why. I
Is
wasn't
that
sure.
type C?
No, it's a it's, I have HDMI here.
Okay.
I have HDMI port right here.
See? Our MacBook only have type C.
I'm sorry to hear that. What do
No,
you
but
mean?
here. I got type C,
And
HDMI,
yeah.
ABC.
And you got everything.
Maybe.
He's got everything. He needs to let us borrow some stuff. James, let me hold your stuff. So, yeah, so that's what I connect to then. I just
All right,
want to-
yes, I'm gonna put the screen down and start projector.
Okay. Fantastic.
It's at 1 hour.
Okay, so we got 5 minutes.
Maybe more. They always say
6 minutes.
If it's 1 hour, then I left my purse back there. I gotta go get it. I don't have a lot of money, but I'd like to keep the amount I have together. You don't have gum, do you? I need a piece of gum. Because when we come back, it'll be like straight into this.
should say
Hmm?
it's the pink
Hmm?
car
Paint card? What was that?
on Friday.
Listen, I don't even know, I don't even know what I'm wearing. So I don't even. You know, I'm gonna do that at my daughter's school. I'll tell you what I wear, it's too much. I already have my outfit. I don't need you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
James, I'm running to the restroom, I'll be right back.
Okay. Are you always on duty for board meeting?
For the workshop.
So for the board meeting?
For board meeting, it's usually a Monday. Split. Unless we change. To get those new Acer Chromebooks or not yet? Will be
HP?
Acers. It's supposed to get like 62.
Not yet. Is that from the old eight?
No, Bill Jones sold them.
Okay.
But Henry wants 2 cards, 25 each, so 50 and 12 as a backup.
Is that for testing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Should be enough, right?
Yeah, more than enough.
Same for Will Day. the presentation is about pills.
Um,
That's why you're here.
Bills and more of our AI showcase.
But, you gonna show up?
Who?
AI?
Yeah.
Gonna be here? Oh, it's she.
Because, our AI showcase on the 26th.
Alright. See you in the morning. Good job.
Huh?
Is the screen out?
No, when they gonna start first.
Aye.
Oh, they're gonna, oh, okay, sorry. I'm glad I was able to see Bernice. My eyesight is so bad. I was like, I'm gonna wave, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Hey, Dr. Jim. Okay, let's get the iPads and make sure that we can pass those out. And yes. You smell so good. Is that you? You spray yourself? You didn't spray? Is that Arthur smelling so
Oh,
good?
good evening.
Is that you smelling
Hello.
good?
Hello, hey, how y'all doing? It is
How
so
are
good.
you?
We got company tonight, y'all.
Hi. Let me smell.
Look at this. We not in here by ourselves. I'm so happy. Look at this. It was 166 people. And I'm down to 7.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh, did y'all go to Unsung Heroes last night? Thank y'all for going. I had chapter meeting. Well, ebook.
Like it.
I had ebook. Thank y'all for going.
And they just glad to have us there.
Huh?
Was it the, Javon?
Javon, it was Javon.
Yeah, and they, his father was glad to have us there. He took a picture with him. I know, I missed it. Yeah, he was supposed to be there.
See, my phone is charged on my charger, so I don't need to take it.
He loved, because he was he won the bowl, he did the bowling. He was,
Yeah.
the 10,000. I was so happy for him. So I'll mention that at our board meeting.
No, I have to sign up. Well, I was signed up for the PD.
Kilpatrick, is his last name, right?
Yeah, and Andrew made it to the finals. He's one of the finalists for like state championships.
Emmy?
Yeah, Andrew.
Y'all need to be giving me emails, because I got stuff about,
Track, right? Andrew
everything.
Track.
Our girls did media.
Jessica. Trust Track. Andrew, right?
Andrew, Emmy.
Okay.
For
Yeah, my
track,
daughter
right?
did media day, Dr. Fisher. Them pictures looking good.
I saw him. Catch you play?
With the orange hair.
Catch you play?
Yeah.
She in style. Catch you play. She got game.
Dr. Fisher says,
She did.
thank you for your patience. Now may I have a motion to return from executive session? Second. All in favor? Aye. Moving on in the agenda, we have a presentation. CTE. Is it best for us to come down?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll come down. Bringing my cookies. Look. Yes. Yes. Thanks for all 7 people.
Okay, all right.
Just ask you about this.
Notebook, Ellen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is this on?
ready? Yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I want to thank all of you for your patience, because it seems like every time I was set to present, here comes the snow. So, by the way, it's snowing tonight too, so I don't know if I'm responsible for the snow, so. But, you know, let's get through this, because I really want to share with you guys some really good things that are happening. I am Ebony Fan-Fan-Dosine. I'm the Instructional Technology Supervisor for Roselle Public Schools, and I also oversee the career and technical education pathways for the district. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of update. So just for starters, because a lot of times we wonder who's in our department, I just threw their names up. We won't spend a lot of time, but this is the members of our department, which are inclusive of teachers, ROTC, which some of you may not have known that, the Bills Tech coaches, as well as the media specialist. So, for starters, I just want to share with you guys my department, in addition to curriculum and learning platforms, I also oversee state reporting for the district. So a lot of times the reports that go out regarding students, the reports that you see online, performance reports that identifies how we're doing as a district, some of that data is compiled by me and then uploaded to what was NJ Smart, which is now NJ SLED. So all of the reports on the left are managed by my department, and all of the platforms on the right are managed by my department as well. You will notice one of the ones that are brand new this year is Magic School AI. So I will be remiss if I did not share with you guys that this entire presentation was created by AI. I uploaded the information, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And one of the things that we ask students to do is, one, let everybody know you use AI when you're using AI. So I'm letting you guys know that I use AI for this. So, responsibilities of our office, in addition to the platforms and the state reporting, we are also responsible for the Verizon Innovative Learning Schools Initiative, which is in its 3rd year. So this is year 3, and we have 1 more year, and our MOU will end in year 4 up in the 26-2027 school year. At that point, the goal is to identify sustainability measures to identify how we can consistently keep students connected, as well as having that one-to-one initiative. So there's been conversation about that, you know, with central office administration among my team, so that we are looking to identify ways to keep the momentum going. And later on, I will show you why the momentum needs to keep going, because they are using the devices and they're using the data. So, as a district, we would not be responsible if we were not making sure that we are CIPA compliant, which is Children's Internet Protection Act, and COPA compliant, which is Children Online Privacy Protection Act, and FERPA, which is the Family Education Rights to Privacy Act. So all of those coming together make sure that we do not allow our students' records to be handed to any person. We guard that. And anybody who knows me knows that I will guard somebody's records. You know, someone will have to come and tell me, give it to them, because I will guard a record. And definitely with COPA, we make sure that the information doesn't go out into the public. And CIPA obviously allows us to put in those filtering systems that block information from coming in that are inappropriate to our children. This is what it looks like when our kids try to go into a site that is inappropriate. They get told immediately that this site is restricted. One of the things that we've been doing, this is a very fluid operation. We understand that at first we locked everything down because we needed to do that, because we weren't sure where kids were going. So over time, we are working with teachers, with principals, and the students to really tell us what are some of those sites that they really need to get into. And as a result, we are using our vetting process through Education Framework, which is a service that we use in the district, to let us know if those sites are appropriate. And if they are, we let them through. If not, we keep them moving. So one of the programs that you won't see here is ACHS Esports, and I do apologize for that. But I would also like to talk about some of our after-school programs that have been thriving in the last 3 years. This is year 3 of the ACHS Esports program, and Grace Willey Junior High School program, and L.V. Moore Middle School program. So this information encompasses how the students are meeting, What are the requirements? We do not select students for any reason other than that they're interested, because this is supposed to be about their interests. We do not identify, oh, we don't want this kid because of this. We just bring in every student, and we do it on a first-come, first-served basis because this is just what's fair. Because this is the instructional technology department, we don't do it on paper. We do everything in Genesis because it can be tracked, it's transparent, and it can be streamlined. So as a result, this is what our program encompasses. We require 95% of attendance because we know, because space is limited, we can only allow a small number of students to participate. It's unfair for the one kid that we let in who doesn't show up, and now there's somebody waiting in the wings and can't get in. So we shut that down to make sure. This is our ACHS student tech team. Why am I talking about them? Because we got student tech teams at all 3 schools. We're talking about these guys because recently, ACHS went through middle states accreditation, and for those of you who don't know, it was an arduous process on the part of the administration at the high school, but I'm told that one of the things that they really talked about were these guys. So these guys in the high school, they are highly respected, highly regarded because they are talented and making sure that they provide the technology support that, the high school, the students, the staff needs. There are staff members who look for these students like, hey, come here, come and help me out with this. So they're really leveraging their skills. These students are able to repair devices. They can take off your keyboard, put it back. They can repair a screen. They can repair a hinge. So our goal is to, as we transition out of the repair process for bills, is to get these kids to start doing that in-house. So that's another career pathway for them. And last year we started a tech support, student tech team support course, one that's a full year, one that is a half a year. Half year for kids who want to dabble, I'm not sure that's what I want to do, let me see what it's about. And for the kid who really wants to stay in, they can take the full year course because they're experienced. So part of our partnership, as always, is that we are part of the Morris Union Jointure Commission, where our staff gets a lot of professional development. We already talked about bills. We're part of Digital Promise, and we are part of the Montclair State Computer Science Hub. I'm going to take a moment to talk about the Computer Science Hub because our staff gets all of their professional development from Montclair State Computer Science Hub this year. They are taking this track for their professional learning because we recognize emerging technology must be addressed. As such, these are the ones that have occurred in the winter months. There were some that happened in the fall, but I'm sharing these with you guys. This is what they are actually covering in their training. Not only are they learning about these topics, but they're also learning about instructional strategies and how to execute a lesson on these particular topics with students. Additionally, as I mentioned before, these are the dates that Morris Union Jointure Commission meets. These are them practicing, and what I like about Montclair is that they teach them the way they want them to teach the students. So that when they go back to class, it's now, well, what did they do again? They make them really take part in the learning process, in our hands-on learning process. We have some Vills coaches, Washington elementary teacher back there. Anyone who recognizes Mr. Lopez, he's way back there, looking around to see what's going on in the picture. Okay. And we also participate in the NJEC community as well. Just yesterday, 2 days ago rather, these guys went to the NJEC conference. And these are not all technology people. We have an ELA teacher here who's participating, our graphic designs teacher, our financial lit teacher, because we recognize that technology is embedded in everything. So choosing to only align it with people who already teach technology is just not prudent. So we're making sure everybody is getting the benefit. That brings me to another part of Montclair State Hub is that they provide us with free activities for our students. So Day of Computing is something that they started last year, and they only did it for our middle school. This year they did it for our elementary, our high school, and our middle school students. So these guys went back in January. This is them learning how to do some 3D printing with their, what am I calling this, Jesus? Yes, thank you, with their pens. And these are them here showing the results of their work. And in addition to that, they were also learning how to code, utilizing some tools that we've been really, really interested. This is a Makey product. If you have not seen a Makey product, we do have some in the district. And whatever that you're seeing there, the students actually have access to here. So that way they are exposed to some of these tools. So this is the high school. And for the high school, it was more career driven. So at the high school, they talked about the development of AI, which is an emerging technology. They talked about drones, how drones are going to impact, our lives. We already know that with what's happening right now, how drones are really impacting the lives of others. So they talked a little bit about that. This is one of our student tech team members, but she was also selected. Just so you guys know, I'll just share a little bit about how we selected those students. Students were not selected because we like them, because they're on the student tech team. We had to select students who are considered to be an underrepresented group. So we looked, we looked for students who are in our ML population, who are in our SPED population, and students who may be on the cusp of wanting to be in technology, but they're not sure. So those are the students who participated. And I took this picture because I thought it was so important, because these guys were starting to look at, I didn't know Montclair had all of that. And then they were looking at the catalog. So if you work at another university and you want to have a day of computing, invite us, Dr. Atkins. We'd be happy to come, and participate. So this was today, because we just came from the day of computing for the middle school. So I just threw the pictures up there so you can see that this is all inclusive and everybody participates. This was us just today. All right, so let's talk about our curriculum roadmap. Computer science is provided from K to 12. In our K to 4, we must provide instructional technology as well as computer science. When the students get to grade 5, they take technology education, but they also take computer science beginning in grade 6. Although I'm mentioning grade 6, please understand that block-based coding was happening well before that when they are in elementary school. So when they get to grade 6, they're participating in block-based coding with Scratch, and they're utilizing the Amazon Future Engineering curriculum, which is a curriculum that we use from grade 6 all the way through 12 for various classes. When they get to Grade School Day, they're talking about AI exploration. So we started talking about AI before AI was being talked about. So they were already taking those classes. By the time they get to high school, and this is just about computer science, they're taking Intro to Computer Science with Python 1 or 2. They're taking AP courses. They're taking drones. They're taking Student Repair Academy. And this year, because we did the tech support, they're also taking that as well. In addition to that, there's our culinary arts pathway, our business pathway, our graphic designs pathway, and I did mention our computer science pathway. We did have a health occupations pathway. The last 3 years, we struggled getting an instructor and actually getting students to participate, because without an instructor, it's really hard to have kids to want to come in and participate. So as such, just like everything else, when it's not working, you don't stay in it and wonder what's going to happen. You make changes, so we pivoted. So next year, we are going to be introducing a digital media pathway, because we recognize that there's a high interest in that. So that is inclusive of broadcasting, of, why am I keep drawing a blank? I'm sorry, inclusive of broadcasting, portfolio, as well as students taking part in journalism. So that's going to be our digital media pathway. So, just want to share with you what our courses look like, because there's always like, are the kids interested? Do they want it? Don't they want it? This is data about what interests there are in our courses here at Abraham Clark High School. So financial literacy is huge. So I also want to be transparent that every kid must take it to graduate. So if you see a huge number, please don't think, oh, kids, oh my God, I want to take it. But our teacher is phenomenal. Ms. Fenellis is amazing. And all the kids really want to stay in her class. But as you can see, culinary arts is a big one. Digital arts is another big one, which is graphic designs. And that's followed by esports. And the reason esports is so low is because the room is small. There are only 2 sections and we can only take but so many kids, followed by our computer science. And then, of course, ROTC. So we do have thriving programs here in Roselle Public Schools. So I just wanted to show you what the data actually looks like when it comes to student interest. Now let's talk a little bit about money and bills. So last year, and if you were here with us last year, you know that we encountered some issues with device care with our students. So I also wanted to highlight some of the money that was probably going down the drain based on losses that we really experienced last year. But fear not, one of the things that we did, we looked at it. Like everything else that's not working, you pivot and you find other measures. So we did institute the $25 usage fee. We looked at proactive device collection. I want to highlight Leonard V. Moore Middle School because it was through collaborating with them that we came up with a break collection, device collection period. So what that means is when the kids go out for break, we take those devices. We tell the parents, let us keep them. Because we found that a lot of times they take it home, they lose it, they visit grandma in North Carolina, it doesn't come back. You know, I went to my friend's house, I went to the park. So we take them back so that we ensure that we give them back. And we give the parents an option to opt out because everybody has choices. But we've been very successful that I think only one parent, this is Dr. James, everybody. Come on, Dr. James, he's one of our Bills coaches. So only one parent said no, but everybody else just gave us their devices willingly. Because of the success of what happened at Wilday and LV, we're doing it again for spring break. This is going to help parents not have those big bills. If you've been doing really well, you've been caring for your devices, and we realized the major breakage took place when the kids had idle time. You know, they sat on it, they threw it under the bed. Stuff happens. It happens to us, doesn't it? So we just made sure that we took it from them. So this is an example of the type of repair that has happened in 2026 at LV Moore so far. I'm selecting LV Moore because I'm highlighting some of the measures that they have taken to prevent that. And what we will find as I show you more data is that quite a few times the damages are the same across the board. So the hinge failure is a big deal, and we recognize that. So we're talking to the manufacturer because we need to know why is it that the hinges fail so much. And so as we transition out of this process, CTL may not be a device that we keep buying because this hinge situation is a problem. But it also means that we have to put in more effort in teaching students how to care better for their devices. So when we see kids carrying it correctly, we highlight that. You know, we let them know, I really like the way that you're carrying that so that other kids can hear you say that. So we have also put forth a lot of aggressive measures and making sure that we provide lessons through Dr. James, through the other Vils coaches in the schools, lessons that teach students how to better care for their devices and really talk about the value of that device, because when you don't have it, you don't have it. So we just wanted to make sure we share with you guys what have been the major issues with repair. If someone wants to take a photo. So this is 2025, last year, and I want to show you what that looks like. So the top cover repair was huge. And when they say top cover repair, please understand, top cover repair is inclusive of the screen. I sit on it, I break it, the screen is broken. That has been the major issue. Followed by palm rest repair. I'm just resting on it and I break that. As you can see at the bottom, you will find that the mouse is also, one of the issues that we had. Hinge is not the biggest issue, but because the hinge is an issue, we need to address if this is the best device for our students, long term. So that's what that actually looked like from last year. This year, same situation. This is the year of 2026. I don't have the counts up there. I just want to go back and show you that this was 2,260 and change. And we are now in the month of March and the school year is almost over. So we're hoping that the numbers will remain low for us by the time we end the school year. All right? So you see that there's a grand difference because the bars still expand. People are like, it's the same thing. No, the numbers at the bottom indicate, that we are making good strides, with some of our measures here. So as you can see, some of our strategies, and we have had a new user policy focusing on transparency. We made sure that every parent is aware. We've sent those things out at home. We've also had our coaches and our school administration being very transparent about their communication. When something happens, we push out the information directly to the parent. Conversation is had. We tell them right away. This is what happens. Because last year, we heard people, even though we had taken those measures, maybe we needed to be more aggressive. So we heard when people complained and said, you guys didn't tell us until we got to June. Well, now we're just pushing out the information consistently. LV Moore is about to push out all of its information at the end of this month. And so is Wilday, and so is the high school, to let parents know those who still have outstanding, issues, that those issues are outstanding. So that by the time June comes along, this is not when they're finding out, that there are certain issues. And they have all summer. And please note that we do have partial payment opportunities for those parents as well if the damage requires a payment. Not all damages require for the parent to make a payment. Because we know technology is a privilege, not a right. We receive these devices. Yes, we have to provide all students equitable access to technology while they are in school, but it is a privilege to take that access to technology home. We want to give it to everyone, but we do have to share that if someone is being abusive to that privilege, we do have to restrict it. So we do have some students who come in and take their devices every day and hand it back to us because it's either there's been damages or we've not had cooperation on the side of the guardian. Any questions so far? Because I keep going. I'll keep going. No questions? Okay. So what's new? I want you to bring your attention to the bottom because that's the most important, and Dr. James is going to come and help me out here. We started last year by introducing Class VR. And Class VR is another way to allow students to have their individualized learning based on a particular science or social studies or ELA subject, but they're doing it through a VR component. We've seen kids really, really enjoy that particular opportunity. In addition to all these other tools that we have, you see the Nintendo Switch, people are like, why do you have that in education? Because there is value in utilizing that Nintendo Switch. So we have some of those for students to utilize in the classroom as well. Our Spiro robots involve lots of coding. Our Ozobots also involves coding, and our drones are just that. We have a drones course that are in an after-school program that allows the students to utilize that. And let's not forget the esports room at the high school. Thank you, Dr. Fisher. And we now have an esports room at Grace Will Day, which is also a thriving room. If you haven't seen it, please take, a trip. Go check it out. It looks really, really good. We've also added 3D printers at all of the schools. Now, can I say all schools didn't have 3D printing? No, I cannot. But I wanted 3D printers to be accessible to all the teachers because sometimes they're existing for a particular department or a subject. It's important to know that the ELA teacher might also want to engage in some 3D printing, and they should have access to that. And at the high school, we have the laser printer and Cricut machine as we get into wanting to create an entrepreneur opportunity for our students to be able to service the community by taking jobs from the community, creating things here, and then selling it out to the community. So that's another way for them to really build their entrepreneurship spirits here at the high school. So that's coming. You'll notice some of these people. This is our, you want to pass those out?
Only ones.
Never mind. So this is our Merge Cube. Now Merge Cube is augmented reality. Anybody ever look for Pokemon out there?
Yes.
Nobody? Okay. So that's called augmented reality. So when you're in augmented reality, your actual environment is still intact. But the extra, piece that you should be seeing is then part of your actual.
So you're talking about like the Pokemon Go game?
Yes. Absolutely. You guys go chasing those Pokemons, find them in places. Be careful. Okay. So this is something similar to that, but it's Merge Cube, and this lends itself heavily on science as well as social studies. So we got these, and I just want to say, just because we're instructional technology, I recognize that my role is not only to stick to technology, that I have to learn technology, to make sure technology is infused in other subjects. So this particular tool lends itself heavily onto science as well as ELA subjects. So this is, we had a PD with our teachers, and everyone will be getting an iPad. I thought our iPads, we let you guys play with it, but that doesn't seem to be working out. And with the Merge Cube, if they scan it based on what it is that they would like to see, they can actually zoom in, study. You can actually pull up a sarcophagus and then stand next to it and see maybe if you would fit into that. Turns out that people were much smaller back then, so a lot of us can't fit into those sarcophaguses, okay? But that's very interesting information that the kids are finding out through an augmented reality setting. So this is our printer, our laser printer that we just got, because we also recognize in visiting a lot of schools. I've visited a lot of schools and seen what it is that they're doing, in terms of making sure that the kids are innovative and creative. So this is one, and we already have kids who are dying to get their hands on it. As soon as we get it set up and we open those doors, those kids will be popping in. So if you guys have businesses and you want to make like keychains and t-shirts, please look for us next year, because we would definitely be in business, to do some of those things for you guys next year, because it will be part of our graphic designs, business, and digital media pathways. Nothing happens without policy. So this year we looked at our acceptable use policy. So if you have been to any conference, you keep hearing people say, you've got to have an AI policy, you've got to have an AI policy. One of the things that they're not talking about is that you already had an acceptable use policy. And AI is another technology that should be in your acceptable use policy. So last year, and thank you to the board, you guys approved our updated acceptable use policy, which was inclusive of artificial intelligence and the regulations for the use of it. So because you guys were able to do that for us, we were able to devise this particular visual screen here to just share with the students and the staff, and hopefully with the community, to talk about what is it that we're looking for in the utilization of not just AI, but in technology overall. Obviously, certain behaviors are strictly prohibited. That was always the case. Cyberbullying was around well before AI came along. It just got a little bit more interesting, you know? So that's always been around. So we had to make sure that we are addressing, you know, the same issues that always occurs, some of the things that we still needed to address, but making sure that artificial intelligence is part of that conversation. So digital forgery, I remember people didn't want us to use Google. Remember that? Don't you use Google. Because they didn't want you to use Google. You had to go get that encyclopedia. Now all of a sudden, you're asking Google everything. So now we got AI. Don't you use AI? Well, AI is pulling that stuff from Google. The only difference is it's working a lot faster, and it's more, you know, and it's more precise in terms of the information that it's giving you. So we really got to start having that conversation about what AI actually does, so that way we're not always blocking, you know, students' ability to grow, because AI is here. It's here. We can either decide to keep the kids out of it and not help them to navigate that world properly, and then eventually find themselves in a situation they were not ready for, or we can really help to guide them through it. So those are some of the things that we actually put in place. You notice the cite and verify AI rule is huge, because you got to tell people use AI, because there's nothing wrong with it. And we got to start talking about there's no shame in using AI. Because that Google map takes you, I mean, that when you ask Siri to give you directions, it does. Are you cheating? So we got to also start talking about it's okay to use it, how you're using it. If I don't know how to solve a problem and AI teaches me how to solve it, and I learn now because it tells me this is where you went wrong, have I not learned something? And if I'm just saying, hey, write me a paragraph like I was a 15-year-old boy in high school, you know, who doesn't really write that well, who gets only C's and B's, and then AI punches something out, that's cheating, okay? But if I wrote it and I'm saying, can you correct my spelling, help me enhance my thoughts, because those are my thoughts, I wrote that already. You know, and we do that with our teacher. They give us feedback. Go back and do this, go back and do that. So that's the ethical framework for us. We acknowledge and cite, we review, and we verify. We know that AI can hallucinate. If you've been to any of the Legal 1 PDs, you've heard that AI one time created a whole brief for an attorney, and when he went to present it, none of those cases existed. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen to our students. And that means that they still have to engage in the learning process. They have to know what they're looking for in order to recognize if AI is doing a good job. Am I right? So maintaining creative control. They got to start using it and understand what they want to get out of it. What do I want to get out of that? So, and of course there's zero tolerance. We talked about malicious use already. And I was watching Law and Order SVU, and they've already identifying deep fakes. Somebody talking to their husband, and the husband had passed away. They called it a grieving avatar, a grief avatar. And then when she went to court, turns out she couldn't testify against her husband because she believed that it was her husband that she was talking to. There's a lawyer in the room, you tell me if that's right. I don't know. So anyway, so all of these things are impacting our lives, and we got to start having open conversations. So the great equalizer for us was that we purchased Magic School AI because it is based on education only. It's an education tool. So if we want them to start using it, I don't want to say everybody jump onto ChatGPT because it's not an education tool. But it's there. I want them to use it, but I want them to start from here. I don't want to say jump to Gemini. So it also supports our ML population greatly and our SPED population. It also helps the teachers do a much better job at differentiating lessons. We know that some of us are great at differentiation and others need a little bit of help. So for those teachers, they also have that. It does a great job at creating at creating activities for students, in the classroom. So not only does this benefit our teachers, it also benefits our students. Oh, did I mention real-time translation? Because it also has that, and it speaks my native tongue. So I was very happy, to use Magnet School. Okay? So if you guys wanted to scan that, it is a slide deck so that you can learn a little bit more about what Magic School actually does. Only if you want to, but I'll share the slide deck with you at a later time. But this just gives you a slide deck. I got that from Texpo when we went to Texpo, which, by the way, thanking Dr. Washington for coming. I really appreciated your input and your contribution to the process because, it was great to collaborate and partner so that way we knew exactly what the needs were from the side of the board, and then she was able to understand what the needs were from the side of the educators. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So this is what we're going to do next. We opened AI. We had a policy. We opened it to the teachers, and we decided, wouldn't it be great if we had an AI showcase? And some people might say, hey, that's kind of fast. Those kids have been using AI before we were. So we decided to streamline that and start with creating an AI showcase, which is, by the way, happening on March 26th. Invitations went out. We would love for you guys to participate. I have 150 students signed up, and they're going to be presenting AI from different lenses as to how it's being utilized. Some kids have created things using AI. Some kids are going to show you how to best use AI. Dr. James has some great students coming in they created some apps. The high school created apps, so I cannot wait for them to really showcase some of the things that they have done on the 26th. But we also know, and showcasing it here is great, but we're not touching the whole entire community, so we're going to try to do a little bit more for that. So there's rigor behind the magic. So we did talk about the 6 steps to PBL process. This is what our staff went through to make sure that they had a good handle on the projects that they're going to be presenting on the 26th. So please come in and enter the Great Hall of AI with me on the 26th. You guys are most welcome, to come in and participate. This is our flyer. So we realized that in addition to making sure our students are comfortable, there are some naysayers that are still kind of resistant. So we're inviting the community out to have an AI conversation with Dr. Catherine Herbert and Anthony Scrifignano. Yes, I got that right because I've had such trouble saying that. So they're coming out to really have an AI conversation with the community to really answer some of those nagging questions, some of those things that I may know how to answer, but these are the experts. So they're part of Montclair State University. Another benefit to the partnership that we have with Montclair is that we have people who will come out for free. Everything I've shown you so far has been gratis, to us. So I just wanted to highlight that as well. But it doesn't go without saying, in addition to all of that, we continue to learn. We continue to go to these technology conferences. Dr. Washington is not there. I thought about making AI, put her in there, but she was actually somewhere else handling something that a board president had to handle. As such, she wasn't part of that picture. But we understand her absence, but not that she didn't contribute, not that she wasn't important, but she wasn't part of this picture. And then we did evaluate our sessions in that way. So if you guys want to scan that, you will see how we evaluate our sessions. We don't just go and chill and have a wonderful time. We actually come back and we converse and we identify what tools that we like, tools that we didn't like. Sometimes a vendor will promise you everything and then you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't track, or this really doesn't service our population. So then we had to really, go a little bit deeper. So that's the form that everybody was asked to complete, and that data was used to have further discussion. What's coming up next year and over the summer? We'll be using the Infento STEM robotics because it is time to dive in. So part of our computer science program will now be inclusive of robotics. So what that means is for the kids who are interested in robotics, some kids are good with their hands, some kids are not. So we're going to have both platforms. Some kids will be able to build the robot virtually and digitally, and some kids will be able to build it by hand. We've seen kids, and if you scan this QR code as well, you'll see some of the big life-size robots that kids actually built. As I mentioned earlier, we have a digital media pathway, and that's also going to help bring students to a space, because you hear kids, I want to be a YouTuber. Well, do they know what that involves? There's so much on the back end. It's not enough to turn on my camera and just talk. You have to have a platform. You have to be able to have somebody who's actually doing the editing, somebody who understands lighting, somebody who knows how to zoom in, the sound. They don't understand some of those. So we're going to make sure that all of those are addressed in our digital media pathway. And computer science, cybersecurity is another thing that we are currently vetting right now, in addition to our business and graphic designs pathway. I know I've said a lot. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for you, Ms. Rossi. Thank you for the presentation. It was amazing. I do see that we were concentrating a lot, like from first grade all the way to the high school. But what are we doing in terms of the technology and the and everything that you're introducing for our little ones, our pre-K?
I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so currently, thank you for asking that. So we actually have coding kids at KSA. The reason why I didn't include KSA in this one, because you guys know, unfortunately, we did lose our teacher. And so we have a substitute, that's currently working. We're working with him to execute those lessons. But we have coding kits over where kids are beginning to understand that what is command. They're building from using different mats and setting them up, and then the mouse. Actually, if you put the maps correctly, if you want the mouse to go left, then you have to put the right maps. They're beginning to understand command. In addition to that, we are actually demoing an interactive table right now at KSA for those particular students. And funny thing you should mention, when I brought up AI for grades 1 to 12, Mrs. Gonzalez was like, here are some things I want to do with AI. I said, girl, let's talk about it. So we are addressing some things that we are doing for the kids at the Kindergarten Success Academy. But the one thing that we want them to do, one, is to be able to get the right tool, to utilize a tablet versus a laptop, because their gross motor and fine motor skills are not there yet for a laptop. So thankfully, with the substitute that we have there, he's been really, really excellent in getting the kids to log in properly, understanding how to navigate, different websites, because at that age level, that's really what we can actually share with them, because we really have to be very careful about the amount of screen time that they have. So we make sure that some of the things that they're doing is more tangible, like the coding mouse and the pad that we have there. Did that satisfy?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, these little ones have screens
Yes.
as young as pre-K. And we talk about screen time all the time. But they are clearly advanced because they can find what they need even if they can't read well, right?
Right.
They literally know how to find what they need or what they're interested in, I'll put it that way.
Right.
What is the plan to further engage them in that route?
Okay.
Not just take away the screen time, but how are we gonna, even at that age, teach responsibility, responsible use, even in school, and really get something from it? How do we leverage that?
Okay, so you're right about the kids already using it. My fear, there's only supposed to be 20 minutes of screen time for a 4-year-old while at school. You really should not be having them on the screen consistently. So one of the things that I would definitely promote is that we're teaching them how to either use the voice command, use a translation tool, some of the things that's going to help them, or some of the reading tools that read aloud, the speech to text and things of that nature. There should not be places, you should not walk into a pre-K classroom and this kid's been on this tablet for like the last 40, 45 minutes. That's too much. They should not be on there. So you could be talking about how do you care for your device. We can ask the kids to either articulate that. We can give jobs, every day. Who passes this out? What are we supposed to do? So it's about the conversation. We can't have them on that screen because we understand that at home, sometimes they're on it a little bit too much.
We're going to share these strategies with parents so that they can replicate what we're teaching at home. At school, at home, because I do think we should just be sharing the strategies, because you're right, the screens are watching them, and that's how they know.
Yeah. We definitely can share the strategies, but in kindergarten, there isn't a specific section for a computer class, and there shouldn't be. In kindergarten, everything should be integrated, inclusive of, art, music, all of those things should be integrated in all of the lessons. So I can definitely share some strategies with parents about screen time. We did used to have some of those Zoom, meetings about, social media, screen time for kids, so I can definitely, revive some of those measures. For me, the issue, just like we see in this room, the audience isn't coming, so we want the audience to participate. But I'm happy to send out as much information as I can. Go to KSA, send out handouts, things like that, and to First Light, education.
I guess we should figure out how we incentivize engagement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Well, I'm hoping that when parents come out to see their kids perform, because they would show up. So when the kids are performing for the AI.
I think that might be the best time to share that.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Comments, concerns, complaints?
It was a great presentation. Thank you so much for giving us, that update and all the great things that are happening in the district. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Will you be able to share presentation? Oh, wait, please.
Yeah, okay. If I got one of these. I did all these slides, but then I don't like that it wasn't mentioned, so I took it, broke it apart, and dropped it. It was a walk.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking, I'm going, I had a couple of questions myself, because I was playing with the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing with them, but it was storing all the sources. So you have to select sources. Yeah, that's how
Because otherwise it pulls stuff, it goes to Roselle. If you mention Roselle Public Schools, like, oh, let me go see what they have up there, and then it drags everything out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll plug that. That's last slide. Thanks, Ms. Wilson.
Thank you, Ms. Vilsain, for that presentation. I do hope we get to share this out with other parents, especially at the AI Showcase. Now comes the section of the meeting for public comment as mandated by this board's policies. Members of the public who wish to address the board during the public comment portion of this meeting may do so for 4 minutes. Please come to the microphone, provide your name and address for the record. When speaking, please address all comments to the board president. Public comment is not intended to be a question and answer period. It is the time of the meeting during which the public may speak on any topic associated with the business of this Board of Education. All public comments must conform to basic standards of civility. Disruptive, threatening, defamatory, and/or profane comments, as well as political commentary, will not be allowed. If spoken during the meeting, the commenter will be stopped and may be removed from the meeting. Is there anyone here for public comment? Seeing that there's no public comment, I'm closing public comment. It is 8:04 p.m. May I have a motion and a second to accept and approve Superintendent Recommendations Business Items 3.1 and 3.1 and 3.2 on the agenda? Oh wait, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry, I want to cancel that because I noticed there wasn't, sorry, Dr. Bishop. I know there wasn't a section here, so I want to reverse that because we didn't do the acceptance of our other stuff. So now, may I have a motion and to accept governance items, presentation is presented, public comment and superintendent recommendations 3.1 through 3.2. Second? Dr. Simmons, please take a roll call on that. Oh, T-Bow, I'm sorry, I didn't see that you left, I'm sorry. Mr. T-Bow, please take a roll call.
Mrs. Chavez,
Yes.
Mrs. Woody,
Yes.
Dr. Atkins,
Yes.
Ms. Bond,
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez, Ms. Santos,
Yes.
Ms. Turner, Dr. Washington,
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And now may I have a motion and a second to accept and approve curriculum and instruction item 5.1 field trips?
So set, Chavez?
Second.
Fine.
Any discussion? Seeing as there's no discussion, Mr. T-Bow, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Chavez,
Yes.
Ms. Bond,
Yes.
Dr. Atkins,
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez, Ms. Santos,
Yes.
Ms. Turner, Dr. Washington,
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
And Ms. Woody.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that our next regular board meeting will be on Monday, March 23rd. We will convene for executive session at 6 p.m. and then we will convene to regular portion at 7 p.m. And the board will be holding a special Board of Education meeting for professional development of the board on Friday, March 27th and Saturday, March 28th. Friday, March 27th starts at 6 and Saturday, March 28th starts at 8 a.m. at LV Moore Middle School Gym. Thank you, everyone, and may I have a motion to adjourn? Second.
Woody.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. See everyone on the regular board meeting. Gotta take the power protest, right?
Let's pass this, yes.
I'm gonna call Mario. Jessica. Yes. I'm gonna call Mario. Right now.
Yeah, that's